Hello everyone, I'm Zainab CodingWali, currently a proud level 1 batch 3 student at Rehan School Online Academy. So, welcome to CodeCast where curiosity compiles. This is my third foreign interview. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Ilene. Island works with emotional awareness and helps people understand what their emotions are actually trying to tell them instead of pushing them away or ignoring them. I'm excited about this conversation because emotions affect our decisions, our confidence, and our learning, and even how we see ourselves. So, Eline,
Uh,
thank you
Eileen,
for
yeah,
Eileen, sorry.
yeah, there you
Eileen,
go.
thank
Yeah,
you for thank you so much for being today. So hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine, and my name is hard for a lot of people to get. So, thank you for making the effort. I'm doing really well, and I'm glad to be able to talk with you. So,
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay, Eileen. So to begin our conversation, I was really curious about this, and my question was that what was the moment in your life when you realized that emotions deserved more attention than we usually give them?
well, it was a moment of pain for me. Uh, Way back when I got married very young, I was only 19 years old. And I waited for 7 years before my husband and I agreed to have a child together. And she was not 1 year old, and he decided he wasn't ready to be a father, and he left us and divorced me. And that was a lot of pain for me. And I didn't realize what a lot of people do is we hold emotions inside of us. And I didn't realize I'd been holding so much anger. But when he said that, all that anger started coming out. And it was just me and my little child, and all that anger was coming out in her life. And I went to my therapist and I said, how do I stop this? And she didn't have a good answer for me. And I went to university libraries and asked them, what causes emotions? Why do we have anger? What can we do about it? And there weren't any answers there either. So I started looking for answers and I eventually found them. I used them on myself and then I helped other people with them.
Okay, that's really interesting. But I was kind of curious to know that how did that realization change the way you personally deal with emotions nowadays?
Well, I've been studying emotions for more than 50 years. And what I've discovered is that there's a whole system that emotions are given to human beings. We have them at least from the moment we're born until we die, and they're with us all the time, and they're friends. They are here to help us. And do you want to know the system that I understand in which they help us?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really great.
Okay.
Okay, so, hmm,
Okay. So let me tell you that then. The I see the world as a big giant school. You're in school. We're all in school in the world. And the way we learn is we have experiences. Something happens. And when we have the experience, an emotion or more than one emotion come along with it. Now, the experience is giving us an opportunity to learn something. And the emotion gives us some messages so we can figure out what the situation is trying to teach us. Like with loneliness, for example, is my favorite example. Loneliness is not, oh, we need to have more people in our lives. Loneliness is telling us we're sending more energy away from ourselves than we're bringing back in. And that's making us feel very alone, very lonely. And so all we have to do is something we have a talent for, something we enjoy doing, and loneliness will disappear because we're bringing energy back into ourselves. So every kind of emotion is telling us what we need to do related to the experiences that we have.
Okay, wow, that was really inspiring. I like it.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Okay, so a lot of people think emotions just happen to us. So, why do you believe emotions actually have something important to teach us?
Well, they have, I more say they have something important to tell us. Um, we can also learn from them, but for example, if you get jealous, if somebody has a beautiful dress and you don't have a beautiful dress like that and you feel jealous, oh, that I don't like that person, they have that beautiful dress. What is jealousy telling you? Jealousy is telling you you need to get more creative because you could create a dress like that for yourself. But instead, you're taking all your energy, all your attention, and you're giving it away to the other the other person with the dress, and you don't have that for yourself. And so that it's telling you something, and that's what's important about emotions.
Okay, yeah, I understand. Like, we shouldn't be jealous of everything. And if we have, like, we don't have something that other person has, like, we should still be thankful to what we have.
Being
Okay,
thankful, but also you can say, okay, I really want that. I'm going to do it. I worked with a woman one time, and her husband, his business gave him a trip to go to New York City, which was all the way across the country. And she was jealous. And we talked together, and I said, why don't you give yourself permission that you can go to New York City also? Okay. And she
yeah.
thought about it and she said, I don't want to go to New York City. I really want to go to Hawaii. I want to go where it's warm and have a nice vacation. And so she did that and she was no longer jealous of her husband.
Oh, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Okay, good.
Okay, so yeah, in daily, I was next. I was kind of curious to know that in daily life we are busy, we are stressed and distracted. So how can someone start noticing their emotions without feeling overwhelmed?
Well, what we don't know is that by not paying attention to our emotions, that's how we get more stressed and tense. Um, most I didn't know, but now I understand that emotions are energy. Okay, and what we know about energy is that we can't create it, we can't destroy it. It has to move, and when it does move, it can change into another kind of energy. Well, that's true of emotions also. So what usually happens is when we get busy and have a lot of pressure, we hold on to emotions, and the energy of those emotions gets bigger, and that's what makes us all tense and nervous. If, on the other hand, we can say, I'm worried, I'm afraid that I won't get this done when I on time. Just saying that takes some of the energy away so that you're less stressed. I have a little exercise that I like to do, um, and it's just sitting and closing my eyes and saying, I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry. And if something comes up, I'm angry that the sun hasn't come up yet today. I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry. That and you can use it with I'm sad, I'm afraid, I'm uh, depressed, whatever. You can use it with every emotion. What you're doing is, even if you don't think you're angry, if there's any anger in here, that will release the energy of it. That releases the energy. If you get more anger from doing that, then it tells you you've been piling anger up for a long time and you need some help to unpile it.
Okay, that's really great. So, but I was kind of curious to know, like, my question was, like, is there a small habit or pause you personally use when emotions show up?
Uh, Mostly I pay attention. Most people don't let themselves have the emotion. They rush on. I'm really sad. A lot of times people don't let themselves just feel sad. So, one thing I like to do is to, let's say, I feel sad. Then I say, well, where do I feel sad in my body? Because emotions come in through the body. Maybe I feel sad right here. And then I say, okay, what is the sadness trying to tell me? And I'll take some guesses. And usually one of the guesses will be close. Oh, I'm sad uh, that I don't have somebody to have breakfast here with me today. I'm sad, and then I can say, well, thank you. That means I need to do something about being sad. Either I need to let myself feel the feelings, or I need to call somebody up and say, come have breakfast with me. But always you just stop and let yourself have the emotion and ask the emotion, what are you trying to tell me? And then work with it. If it's telling you to do something, then we do what I call partnering with emotions. You partner with it by doing what it's telling you to do.
Okay, you really won my heart. Sid. Okay, so many people feel uncomfortable with emotions like anger, sadness, or fear. So, why do you think we label some emotions as bad?
Um, it's something almost all of us are taught. And if emotions are energy, then something like water or wind is energy. All right. Let's take water. Do you say that water is bad? No,
Um,
we don't say water is bad. Water
no.
can water can hurt things, like if you have a water in a lake and it bursts and the water goes everywhere, it can destroy things. But the water itself is not bad. And the same is true of anger. Anger can hurt things when it bursts out. If you've been holding on to it and it starts spilling out, it can hurt you and the people around you, but it's not bad or negative by itself. And so we need to change that and understand that emotions are helpers, and they're just energy. They're not good, they're not bad, they're just energy, and they're here to help us. And then it makes it easier to work with them.
Okay, that's great. Wow, love it. Okay, so as students, we often, deal with self-doubt or pressure. So, how do you think like emotional awareness can help students feel more confident than ever?
Okay, well, emotions do help, but also it's about believing in yourself. Um, Most people actually don't like to change, and learning is about changing. And so we resist. So the best thing a person can do is to make a decision. I welcome change. I know change is coming. I'm going to learn as soon as I notice an emotion is there or I had an experience. I'm going to learn. I'm going to be happy about learning. I'm going to believe that I can learn, uh, even if it's difficult. And we need to make that decision. Students, especially, need to make the decision. Uh, One time, my son was young and he was not doing very well in school. And I asked him why he wasn't doing so well. And he said, well, school is so hard and it's so much work, he said. And I thought about it for a while. And then I said to him, you know what? Being in the world is about work. Even if you drop out and become a drug addict, you still have to find a place to sleep. You still have to figure out where to get food. You still have to stay out of the way of people that want to hurt you. You have to work. So the question is not, why do I have to work, but where do I want my work to take me? And so when you have school jobs to do I want my work to take me to the best I can do, or the middle that I can do, or the worst I can do? And just make a decision and start being in charge of your own life. Everybody, each one of us is responsible for our own life, anyhow. So the sooner we accept that and work with it, the better and easier life goes.
Okay, the answer you give me, I understood that like you have to work and you shouldn't, like, even if you're drunk or you don't have a job, you still have to find out where to live, where to have the food, and like simple needs, for instance, like clothes or boots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about partnering with emotions. So, which I really like. So, what does like that actually look like in real life?
What does what look like? I missed that part. What does what look like in real life?
Um, like you talked about partnering with emotions.
Uh huh.
So, what does it actually look like in real life?
Oh, in real life. Okay. Um, Somebody does something that I think they should not do, and I will get angry about that. Now, if I am not partnering with with that anger, I may say, "You made me angry, and I need you to change." Now I'm not partnering. If I'm partnering with anger, I say, oh, I am experiencing anger. What is this anger telling me? What do I need to do so that I can deal with this anger? And what I've learned to do with anger is I go, okay, what do I think should have happened? What do I think should not have happened? Because that's what we get angry about. So if I think what you did you should not have done, I'm going to feel angry. Well, if I were correct that you should not do it, you wouldn't do it, right? But I'm not correct. So what anger is telling me is that I'm expecting people in the world to behave in ways that are not correct. I can't expect that. I can't expect you not to do whatever it is that you did because you're a person who's not the same as me. You can do whatever you want to do. So what I then to partner, then I go, what can I change in myself so I no longer feel angry about whatever you do or say? That makes sense to you?
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense, but could you like make it more easy for me? I just want to get your point. I understood a little bit, and I want to understand it more in depth.
Well, like with anger, we think another person make I would say to you, you make me angry. You don't make me angry. I have ideas in my own head about what's supposed to happen in my life or in the world. And when that doesn't happen, that's when I feel angry. So all you're doing is you're being yourself, or you're doing something, and it wakes up that expectation I have inside of myself. It doesn't come from you, it comes from me. All right? And so the best way to deal with anger is for me to start looking at, okay, what's in here? What's in me? Do I want to keep it? And if not, what else do I want to do? And I start creating that instead. And the anger goes away.
Okay, yeah, now I understood.
Good.
Okay, so I wanted to know that looking back at your journey, what has the what has emotional awareness taught you about yourself that surprised you the most?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I think I was most surprised right at the beginning to realize that I was full of anger. So many people, because almost all of us are taught, you don't want to let people know you're angry, you might hurt their feelings, you might look bad, so we just pack it inside. When we pack anger inside, anger is the most active emotion that we have, and if we hold it inside of us long enough, it actually can kill us. And the way it can, we have research evidence now that anger that we hold on to, repressed anger, is part of what causes illnesses like diabetes or heart illnesses or cancer. And that's the way it can kill us, because it's always looking for our, if we're holding it inside, it's in there looking for all the weak points, all the things that are, it's trying to get out, just like the water wants to get through the dam, you know? And
Yeah.
and so what was most surprising was how full of anger I was. What also has been slowly surprising and interesting is how much easier the rest of my life has become once have worked with anger, or I mean with emotions. I sleep better. I'm now 83 years old, and most people who are older do not sleep well. I sleep very well all the time, right? And I don't have nightmares. I don't have bad dreams. All kinds of things that change when you're letting the energy of the motion go through you, because you're not piling it up. When you pile it up, you get tense, you get nervous, you get anxious, you have bad dreams, everything is more difficult. And that's the big surprise. Everything gets easier when you're letting the energy of the emotions flow through you.
You mean like we should be just relaxed, not become worried about little things?
Absolutely. Yes. I do not worry. Worry, I have learned, is a misuse of our creative energy. What we're doing when we worry is we're keeping our brain busy until whatever is going to happen happens by itself. It's going to happen anyway, just keeping us busy. So I decided, and you can decide these things. I decided I'm not doing worry. It's just going to tie up my energy, and I don't want that. So I haven't worried for 25 years.
Oh, that's a really long time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes emotions feel confusing rather than clever. So, what should we do when we don't understand what we are actually feeling inside of us?
Ask, and ask for help. I ask for help out loud. Okay, show me what I'm feeling. I'm ready to make a change here. Show me what I need to change. Now, who am I talking to? I don't know. I don't have to know who I'm talking to. I can just out loud say, I need help. if we don't ask for help, we don't get help. So we need to ask, and the spoken word has power. So when I ask out loud. When I'm by myself, I ask out loud, and then the answer, especially the more often you do that, the answer comes to you, and you go, "Oh, that's what I need to do." Okay, so we're in this system, and we're all making change right now. Of We come to the earth, all of us, in order to learn and grow. And right now we're learning, and people like you, people your age, you already know a lot about energy. You were born with that information, where somebody like me, I've had to
Hear
learn
me?
it.
Okay.
Okay, I've had to learn that but you know how to work with energy. But if you have any difficulty working with energy and being an energy being, the fastest way is by working with emotions, because they are energy. So every time something happens, what am I feeling? What is it telling me? I did write a book. It's on Amazon, called Emotions in Motion: Mastering Life's Built-in Navigation System. And in that book, I have a list of 12 emotions and what they're trying to tell us. In fact, I have a paper I will send you. You can share it with the people in your school if you want, that tells you
Absolutely.
what the emotions are telling you. Okay?
Okay, right. Absolutely. I would love if you would send me. Okay, that's really great. Okay, wait. So, before as we come towards wrapping our session, so if someone listening today feels disconnected from their emotions, what would you gently say to them?
Well, the first thought that came to me is that probably young people are listening to this. If they so it'll be young people. And the first thing that came to me is they need somebody to put their arms around them and just hold them so they feel safe. Sometimes the emotions, when we don't understand them, we don't feel safe, and we need to feel safe. We can feel safe by getting in some place, or wrapping ourselves in a blanket, any kind of thing where you feel safe, and know that whatever happens, whatever we feel, it's just a communication system. It's not something that's wrong with us. And it's okay to feel, because when you feel, then you know what, then you can start figuring out what you need to change, how you can grow. And the more you do that, the easier your life gets.
Okay, that's really great. So, but like, what's one simple thing they can try today, not tomorrow?
Sit down for 5 minutes, close your eyes, and just say, now I'm aware of feeling this. Now I'm aware of feeling that. And it may be, now I'm aware of feeling one hand on top of the other. Now I'm feeling nervous. Now I'm feeling angry. Now I'm feeling depressed. Now I'm feeling a lot of love and appreciation. Just say these things out loud for 5 minutes. And if more emotions come up, do that over and over again for several days. And what you're doing is letting some of the energy out that you've got stored inside of you, but you're also facing fact. You're looking squarely at the fact that you are feeling. And that's what we want to do. We want to let ourselves know that we are feeling, because feelings are trying to help us, and we want to start listening to them. And so you can also say, what are you trying to tell me? And listen and experiment. I love experiments. I try something for 3 days. I try a new way of behaving for 3 days. And if I like it, I can keep doing it. And if I don't like it, I can stop.
Okay, wow, that's great. Okay, so Elaine, what is your final message to my viewers and everyone about emotions?
Wow. Well, there are no final words about emotion, I don't think. But to I'm I have decided and am I have the job of telling the world that we have not understood emotions, and that the more we understand emotions and work with them, the easier our lives can be. The fewer wars we will have, the fewer misunderstandings we will have with people, the better we will feel, and the more enthusiasm we will have for our own life. And especially if you're just starting out, if you're your age, then you're just starting out. So start working with emotions now so that your life can just flow and you can enjoy it, and you don't, get all uptight and nervous and live that way for your whole life, because some people do. Don't do that to yourself.
Okay, that's great. So thank you so much, Elaine, for this conversation. And this conversation was like it felt very thoughtful and real. And I really appreciate you sharing your perspective with us. So everyone, this was my third foreign interview with Elaine. Hope you like it. Until then, take care of yourself and bye bye. See you in my next interview.
Bye. Thank you.